How far will the radical left go in attacking conservatives? Right now, if you have not been paying attention, there have been a lot of swatting incidents that have been happening against high-profile conservatives. And this has been going on for a while, but it seems like it is ramping up like in hyperdrive lately. And we're going to take a couple look at a few incidents that just happened recently. But my name is Brandon Fogel. This is Evolution. I'm just wondering how far the radical left is going to go. They are labeling everybody's a Nazi. It seems like these days everybody's a Nazi. Elon Musk is now labeled a Nazi, like over and over. That's if you look in any social media, particularly X, his own platform, like it is just nonstop, just writing on the bathroom wall. It's like it's a sewer. It is like over and over. They are repeatedly just going at Musk over and over. And it's like you see a swastika over here, a swastika over there. Everything you see a one picture of Hitler and his regime and Nazis, and then you see like on the other side you see Trump and his administration, and just the comparisons are just like over the top. Like it is. I was thinking like after the election things would cool down, and it seemed like they did cool down for a little bit. It seems like everybody, there was going to be the lion and the lamb laying down together. There was going to be peace and harmony. That didn't last long. That did not last long, and I think things are like starting to really ramp up of late. All right. So, and the events that I'm talking about, we're going to take a look at just a couple of swatting events, and I wanted to read what swatting is. If anyone is not familiar with what it is, basically it's a dangerous and illegal prank where someone falsely reports a crime to emergency services to get a SWAT team to respond to a location. The term comes from the Special Weapons and Tactics SWAT unit, a specialized police unit in the United States. So basically, how it works, the caller will often claim to be a witness to a serious crime, such as a hostage situation, active shooter, or bomb threat. So I've been hearing about these things happening like repeatedly. If you're familiar with Tim Pool, he was like on his show, Timcast Live, IRL, like he's going, because he does his show live at, I guess it's 7 p.m. Central Time, and there'd be SWAT teams coming in there, like on the set, like they're like, and they're still doing the show, like they're like banging on the door, and like, and I thought that, I mean, that is just Tim Pool, but now it's like it's gone to other high-profile conservatives, and we're gonna take a look at just a couple, and one of them, you might giggle at the name, but his name is Cat Turd. If you are familiar with him, if you're into politics, you're probably familiar with Cat Turd, but he's a very funny, very humorous individual who has a meme as a cat, and he is always just tweeting out stuff that is so funny, but it's a different angle from a conservative look and how he views the world and how he sees politics and what is happening. And then another one was Joe Pags, who does a conservative talk show at 5 p.m. Central Time on the airwaves, and he on another different streaming networks as well. But we're going to take a look at, I just want to take a look at what he said on an event that happened to him. He was swatted at his house. So this isn't just when he's doing his show live. This is in the morning at his house at like 2:00 in the morning. And a SWAT team starts arriving at his door. We're going to take a look at that in just a second. All right. Let me switch screens. Okay. I wanted to read what Cat Turd had to say. So Cat Turd says, I was just swatted again for the 4th time, as I tweeted earlier. I live in the middle of nowhere and know all the cops here because of the past swattings. They know what if they knew what if, sorry, read this. Let me start this over. 1 second. All right, he says, I was just swatted again for the 4th time, as I tweeted earlier. I live in the middle of nowhere and know all the cops here because of the past swattings. They knew what it was immediately and just called me and sent one officer who I just had a great conversation with. Really nice guy. I have the number they called from and will turn all the info over to the FBI today. My last 2 swatters are sitting in prison right now. This new one will be joining them soon. Oh yeah, never shutting up, and this doesn't faze me one bit. And the other one we're going to take a look at, I wanted to see just what Joe Pags actually said. Let me skip down to here. Just a little clip of what he said so you can hear.
But at night, it goes to sort of a night vision view. So I can't tell if it's a police officer or not. I don't know who it is, but he looks a little bit nervous. But believe me, I've got a video of this guy with a rifle at my front door, like holding it, ready to use it. And I called 911. That was the right answer. And I said, this is my address. This is who I am. Radio, television, talk show host. So some would say public figure. I think I'm being swatted. Are you guys at my house? But 2 seconds later, she said, yes, we are. We got a report of this, and this. Dogs were shot. People were bleeding. People were hiding. And none of that was true. None of it true. Not a bit of it. So I said, none of that's happening. Please tell him to stand down. I'll come out with my hands up while I have you on the phone with me, and I'll explain what's going on.
All right. All right. I don't know if you caught that, but Joe Pags, he gave basically what happened in the middle of the night. They showed up at his door, a guy with an AR-15, and he knows what. Actually, he's basically just woken up. He doesn't know exactly what's happening, but he has an idea. There's a gunman, and he calls the police immediately, and they tell him. He says, "Do you have someone here?" They say yes, and then basically, I'm gonna come out with my hands up, just so you know, nothing's going down. This is at his house. So these swatting events are happening at their house while they're actually live on the radio or on streaming on the internet. It's ramping up so like high proportionally, like much more than even was before. I always was always just seeing like Tim Pool like 5 times he's getting swatted over and over, and like basically it's just becoming the boy who cried wolf when like we're not going to know the difference between a real event and a fake event. When these things happen over and over, it's like it's basically blurring the lines, and it's just adding confusion and chaos to everything. And I'm just wondering, how far is this going to go? Because I did think after the election everything would cool down, but it seems like lately it's just basically in warp speed in a much. It doesn't look good where we are headed, because I just remember 4 years ago, the end of Trump's presidency in his first term. And we know that the 2020 year was just crazy because of COVID, but it was also crazy because of the riots that were happening. And it's like, now that we are getting into warmer weather, is that going to begin again? And I just think it just seems like the radical left is becoming so unhinged. The Trump derangement syndrome, and now Elon derangement syndrome. They are people that are just an easy target, and that they raise people's blood pressure that is on the left for some reason. And I'm just worried how far this is going to go, because if we're seeing this early into Trump's presidency, it's basically been 2 months. 2 months. We're like nearly at the 2-month mark of him being president, and this is already happening. I don't know how far it's going to go, but it's worrying of how far it could go. So we'll leave it at that. I mean, seriously, just everyone have your ear to the ground. Get in the know. Don't just blind your eyes to just what is happening out there. Don't just try to bury your head in the sand, but be aware that things could start escalating, and they seem to be escalating very quickly. So, see ya.
I